What's going on, Cancer? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the week of April 15th to the 21st, 2024. So in this reading, Cancer, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the week. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming, and we're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding the upcoming week. So before we begin this reading, you are very welcome here in this space with me, Cancer, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to check this reading out. So without further ado, hope everyone's doing good, and I'm going to pull the energy for you now. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Cancer. Let's see what we got going on here for you, Cancer. All right. It seems like it's a really, really spiritual time for you. So before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start off this reading with some pre-shuffled oracle cards. And these oracle cards contain the theme that Spirit is bringing to your awareness, the theme that you're going to be experiencing for this week. So let me show you them in successive order. You first have the Sun, which has to do with your essence and your personality. It really has to do with your soul and the life force energy that animates your physical body. You also have Neptune, which has to do with the spiritual world, dreams, also compassion, okay, and all things spiritual. And you also have the North Node of the Moon, which has to do with your life goal, your soul's mission statement in this life, and your destiny. You know, it's kind of the thing that your soul wanted to expand into, but it's never easy for you to do so. So at this time, you know, there's definitely something to do with your own identity and your destiny that's being brought up to the surface. I feel for some of you here, there's definitely a spiritual calling in your life to become more healed, more integrated and spiritual, and perhaps to have compassion for people around you. Now, for some of you, there is a danger with the Sun and Neptune of like illusionment, like deluding yourself into something here. And this could have to do with an existing goal that you're like very set on, or something that you've been very patiently waiting to go after, or you've been steadily moving in a certain direction. I do feel like for some of you, you're going to have to address that there's a time and place to go after something and to think big and long-term thinking. There's another time to like realize if a dream that you have is really relevant for your soul, or if it's something that has been like imposed on you, you know, for like an egoic perspective or something like that, Cancer. Because, you know, there's definitely something to do with your destiny and your identity and your spirituality coming up to the surface right now. For some of you, I do feel like you've been chasing a goal that has been imposed on you by social conditioning. It could be something that you're trying to shift your identity in order to, you know, attain a certain goal. You could be like meditating a lot, visualizing a lot, you know, with the North Node here, like moving towards your own fear is what I feel on a spiritual level. That's all well and good. But for some of you, there's definitely something about the way in which that you've been going after something is going to be readjusted here. So let's show you why. Your opportunity for this week is the Judgment card. The Judgment card has to do with the ability to judge well and the ability to discern. So the Judgment card does have to do with a moment of a shift in consciousness where it's kind of like Judgment Day. There may be a certain judgment that is appropriate for you to have about people around you at this time that may be deluding themselves for some of you, this Sun-Neptune thing, you could be surrounded by people who are deluding themselves, who, are trying to like fake it till they make it. This could be you as well, or to like hype yourself up. But it all depends on like what place that is coming from. Because in general, most people, when they're dreaming, they subconsciously don't expect those dreams to actually come true. And it's like comforting to like delude yourself all the time. Like, oh, I'm just like, everything in my life is building up towards this dream that I'm having. But in general, dreams don't come true. What does come true is dreams with intention. Think cosmically, act locally. You know what I mean? And for some of you, there could be a real change to the way that you're acting in the physical world as a result of a realization that someone around you is deluding themselves, or that you're deluding yourselves, or it could be that you are you're going after a certain goal with everything is dependent on the spiritual world, and like spiritual bypassing could be something that's going on here, whether it's for you or whether it's someone around you. I'm going to ignore the physical reality and I'm just going to visualize, because it doesn't matter, like physical reality is not real, so the only thing that matters is spirit here. There could be someone around you that's doing that, or it could be you that's doing that. And I would say that, everything is a reflection of you in this reality for the most part. Like if you want to like understand what's inside of you, take a look outside of you, and so it's all well and good to be dreaming and shifting your identity with spiritual energy, but I feel for some of you there's either someone around you that is doing this in a way of deluding themselves, or it can actually be you, and that may not be something that's comfortable to hear, because once again, the opportunity is the Judgment card, which has to do with like Judgment Day. It's kind of like there's a moment of awakening as your opportunity to like shift your consciousness. So some of you that have been playing it too small as well, you may need to recreate yourself on a spiritual level here. Because remember, it is true that you cannot make up for any sort of like any action that you take can never make up for what you lack in thought. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be like the best chess player ever, and all you do is take action, but there's no like subconscious like I'm a victorious chess player, I am a great chess player, then you can study all the chess that you want, but on a subconscious level you might run into someone who has like a different belief, like I am the best chess player on a spiritual level, and they can actually defeat you. So for some of you, I feel like this is coming up because it's all about finding the balance between like using spirituality to shift your identity when it's coming from a place of like, this is actually going to get me where I want to go, versus this is a complete delusionment, and you could realize that you've been going after the wrong goal. You know what I mean? And in general, the goal that is truly meant for your soul, or like the door that will lead to the goal that your soul wants, is never going to be crowded. If there's a lot of people that are knocking on the same door that you're trying to shove yourself into, you may have had certain goals imposed on you by society, and you're wondering why it's not working here. Because in general, the true door that's going to lead you to your true goal or your true mission in life is not going to be a crowded door. Even if it's within an established niche, the way that you can do it is going to be unique to you. So just be aware of all this, okay? There could be someone around you that you're dealing with that's having this go on, or it could be you. The Judgment card is your opportunity. The challenge is the 5 of Pentacles, which has to do with being on the outside in the physical world. It could have to do with temporary financial difficulties, or someone who's having, this also could have to do with someone who's too focused on the idea of their destiny, someone who is spiritually deluding themselves, who's like spiritually delusional, and they're so lost, they're so concerned with the idea of destiny that they actually walk right by a warm church that can be, the place where they actually receive love and the thing in the physical world. The 5 of Pentacles in your challenge is coming through as someone is so spiritually distracted that they're not taking, you're thinking cosmically, but you're not acting locally. You're not fully present. to what's around you. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is something to do with either temporary financial difficulty in your challenge. Some of you are going to have a moment that, that you need to actually give up on a certain goal, if you're not giving up on it, you need to readjust it. For some of you that have never had a lot of money in your life ever, then this is definitely about reprogramming your subconscious mind to understand that wealth is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright here. You may just need to feel like it's already happening now. But for others of you, I feel like you've gone the wrong way, and you could be kind of like visualizing wealth, but then being lazy in the physical world. It's like pray to God, but keep rowing to shore. Think cosmically, act non-locally. This could be something that you have to tell someone who's around you, or this could be what you're receiving right now from me. Okay. So I feel like there could be an opportunity, or there could be a situation where you delude yourself here, but ultimately I see this as being something to where there's an adjustment being made to get you back on track with your destiny overall. But these are all just possibilities that are coming through. In your overall general energy, it's very good, and I feel like it will be a great week. New financial opportunities for you, for sure. Some of you may be pushed into a change. Your overall general energy is the Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, and also the Four of Swords. This is about abundance and good business acumen. The Fool is all about a new spiritual journey, maybe shifting your identity, taking the road less traveled here. And the Four of Swords is all about healing on a mental level, healing conflict around you as well. So this is a very healing new start to your physical world as an overall general energy, Cancer, for this week. So I actually feel like you are on the right track, but I do feel like there's going to be some sort of healing to some sort of delusionment here happening, that like you're going to catch yourself, or you're going to catch someone around you doing this. Now, for some of you that have been thinking too locally, you've been just completely stressed out, by like, I got to pay the bills, I got to do this, I don't have time to visualize. If you don't do any sort of visualization, if you don't connect with God, if you don't, feel, act as if you already are in the reality that you want to be, and you're just too physically locked, then I do feel like this is all about you actually getting out of the physical and moving into the spiritual. But this reading completely depends on who you are, because for some of you, you've been doing way too much of that. And for some of you, it's almost like you are going to learn your limits here. There are certain things that are relevant for you to manifest and certain things that are not relevant for you to manifest. I'm 5'9". If I were to visualize myself being the best center in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, centers are like the biggest player. You need to be really tall. I would be deluding myself. So maybe there's like a readjustment. Okay, I can't play in the NBA, or like I'm not going to be a center. I could be a point guard, or I could be a coach. I feel like there's an adjustment that has to happen with your own spiritual energy, your own destiny, and your own identity. Now, some of you think too small of yourself, and like I said, depending on your own identity, your essence, your personality, and the energy that animates your body, this is it's going to be completely dependent on that. Now, let me trip you out for a second, because people think that the body is what's giving off the aura. The aura, which is a combination of your thoughts and feelings, your spiritual energy, is what's giving off the body. The body is a map of consciousness. Your body is the unconscious mind. So for some of you, if you're having like a health issue, or for some of you, there's definitely something about being aware about how your spiritual energy is like collapsing into physical reality and how it all works. Some of you, this is going to be about your aura is being like a little bit dirtied by people around you that may not have the same goals as you. The Judgment card in your opportunity to the Five of Pentacles in your challenge could be about, not allowing yourself, or like waking up from the fact that you have taken on the negative beliefs about how reality works from other people around you, and it could be in a very physicalized way for some of you, I sense. You could have a certain mentor, a certain coach, a certain family member, a certain friend that's like, all they're trying to coach you about is the physical, like you need to do this. But for some of you, it's going to be more about getting into the spiritual and understanding how that feeds into the physical. But for some of you, you've gone way too far with that. And it's like about you're deluding yourself. There's not enough physical action being taken towards your goals or towards your destiny here. Now, some of you are going to have a very spiritual destiny, especially if your North Node is in like Pisces or any spiritual sign. It could be something you're very afraid of. You could be trying to gain comfort in the physical world. And maybe there's just like a balance of integrating the spiritual back into your life a little bit more instead of just being lost in the physical. Because I feel like whatever goal you're going after, there's a certain camp of you that's like completely deluding yourself and you're not focused on the physical details enough, or there's a different camp of you that's too locked into the physical and you're not focused on the fact that the body doesn't give off the aura. The aura is what creates the body. When you walk outside, whoever you interact with, it's always a reflection of your own energy. And you hear the siren coming out here. So, yeah. So let's go to what you don't see coming. You have the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Pentacles here. You have the King and the Queen of Pentacles in this reading. The Ten of Wands is a feeling of being overworked and underpaid. It's all about like suppression. It's about someone who's carrying too many sticks on their back, too much responsibility, being overworked, being underpaid, too much passion as well. The Ace of Swords has to do with the Sword of Truth, a moment of mental clarity. And it's funny that the Judgment card is in your opportunity, all to do with mental clarity. And then you have the King of Pentacles here. So for some of you, I feel that there's actually something called excess potential building up. So let's put it this way. If all you do is, this is what I can't hate on you for this, because this is what I did, to get myself to the position that I am, from like a lost soul to a spiritual teacher, I had to really reprogram my subconscious mind, and there's a time and place for everything, and that's all good and well in a certain time. But for many of you, you've created an imbalance where if all you're doing is like focusing on, like acting as if, or like feeling like I'm visualizing this reality, but if you take no physical action to back that, then you create excess potential, and it can give you the opposite result of what you want. Because if reality is like seeing like this person is completely delusional, then it gives you like a slap back to reality. And I feel like that's what's going on here. There could be too much enthusiasm, there could be too much forcing, and like the Neptune and the Sun are very like flow-based things, So there might be you forcing an outcome, or being attached, or being emotionally attached to a certain goal that you have, and it like reinforcing the fact that it's not here yet. So just be aware of this. These are all possibilities. In your advice, you have the King of Wands in reverse, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So the King of Wands in reverse is definitely someone who can be, someone who can feel entitled, or someone who can use spirit in a way that is like bombastic, in a way that actually doesn't help themselves and other people, even if you think it does. It's interesting to me. This could be someone you're dealing with, or you this week. You also have the Ten of Wands here, which has to do with too much fire. And then in your advice, you have the King of Wands in reverse, which has to do with a negative expression of the King of Wands, who's someone who's very sexually charged, authentic, someone who is very spiritual. They have a lot of spiritual energy flowing through them. And I feel like for some of you here, there's definitely something about a potential person around you who is just too lost in that fire energy, or it could even be you. There could be no relaxation in your life, and I feel like that's changing though, because in your overall general energy, you have the Four of Swords, which is all about relaxation. And for some of you, this is gonna be about, you have a spiritual goal that you're visualizing only for the fact that you want to manifest it, or you're visualizing it, and it's too much enthusiasm about it. Because here's the thing: if you are visualizing your dream reality and you get butterflies and it feels like it's exciting for you, you should wipe that feeling out of your subconscious mind. Because if you were to truly act as if something truly belongs to you, it is commonplace. It is ordinary. In order to truly shift into the world of your dreams, you have to feel like that world is standard. It is basic. It is ordinary. And this is the key thing that many people get wrong with the law of attraction, where you try to hype yourself up. Oh, I'll feel so good when it gets here. And even if you do manifest it and you feel so good when it finally gets here, it's going to be a drop off. If someone truly owns something, if it's truly part of your identity, then it's not really exciting and it's just a basic fact. So some of you are going to have to like stop hyping yourself up so much and let other people believe the hype. You just actually do the thing. You just put in you just like kind of, I don't know. This is just coming through. You also have the Three of Cups and the Three of Wands. So this could have to do with patience, having to do with a certain social thing going on here. This could have to do with patience for you dealing with this type of person around you, or patience with yourself. Whatever you are trying to manifest or whatever you are manifesting here, the Three of Wands is telling you to remain optimistic, keep visualizing it, do a toast, a celebration. It's not a matter of if you're going to manifest what you want, it's a matter of when will it come. But for some of you, if it's not relevant for your soul and it's been forced on you, then I feel like that could be a major problem here. Yeah, so let's just start clarifying this reading. Let's clarify why the Judgment card is in your opportunity. Why is the Judgment card in your opportunity? The Judgment card in your opportunity is clarified by the Page of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune here. This has to do with getting more information on something. This has to do with your ideal reality. It's usually something, your wish fulfillment. And this has to do with a major opportunity or a portal of your destiny opening up here, Cancer. So this is an opportunity for you to really question why why is it that your happily ever after in your head is that? Why are you doing what you're doing on a spiritual level? It could be to question what your destiny actually is instead of what you've been trying to force it to be. Because the North Node right next to Neptune could have to do with either a very spiritual destiny that you're moving towards that's difficult, but for others of you it has to do with you're right now it's becoming clear that what you believe your destiny to be is completely delusional, and it's something that you believe will make you happy, but it's not something that is actually relevant for your soul in this life. And it's probably why you keep running into difficulties trying to do it. If you do something and all you ever get is resistance, it's probably not the right thing. There's a time and place to push through that resistance, and there's a time and place to recognize, you know what? This is a sign from the universe that, sometimes misfortune is a test. Sometimes misfortune is to redirect you. And I feel like with your challenge being the Five of Pentacles here, for most of you listening, there's definitely a readjustment to your destiny at this time. Some of you have been deluding yourself. Some of you have not been in the spiritual enough. But many of you, I really do feel like it's clear that for some of you, there's a much more spiritual destiny that you're moving towards, and it could be blending the physical with the spiritual. But for others of you, this is definitely about you questioning what you believe your happily ever after will be, and realizing that humans make plans and God laughs, and it's not to say that you don't have free will. I'm a practitioner of Christ consciousness. You have free will. You can choose to do anything that you want. I'm just someone who can read energy and would give you options, to exercise your free will. And I feel that, so let's clarify that 5 of Pentacles in your challenge. You have the Judgment card here. 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. Hold on. I'm getting information, but hold on. Why is the 5 of Pentacles here in your challenge? Okay. The 5 of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Swords, the Strength card, and also the 3 of Swords here when it comes to your challenge here. So this has to do with someone who is very closed down mentally, or they know what they think they know, or they have good boundaries, but it might be coming from the wrong place since it's conjunct the 3 of Swords, which has to do with heartbreak and pain here. For a lot of you, you're going to have strength to deal with a family member, a friend, someone at work who is around you, who is completely deluding themselves. And you may have to make a choice about whether or not you want to continue to surround yourself with this person who is completely delusional. For others of you, though, this has to do with the strength to know, this has to do with sometimes the Strength card is about endurism, and it's about, moving through a difficult situation with grace, and no matter what, I'm going to keep going through the mud here. But I feel like you have to keep going. But don't think that making a readjustment to your destiny or to whatever you've been going after, don't let the Matrix let you think that you're a loser for doing that. Because what this really is, and in this reading, is that you have a resistance to the thing that you want. You have a resistance to your worst nightmare. And that's why it keeps coming into your reality, Cancer. The 3 of Swords and the King of Swords here is someone who can be so set on a certain path that their resistance to the worst possible outcome actually manifests. Because I have a joke. It's like if you want to get on a plane ride, just keep having a subconscious fear that I hate plane rides. I don't want to ever get on a plane, because it's almost like your resistance is going to manifest it for you here. For some of you here, this is just working through your closed mindset, and it's working through your ability to adjust without beating yourself up. Because I feel like some of you have really been just swinging the hammer at something, and it's to the point where it's actually damaging you. But maybe there's a certain attachment here. So let's just keep going. Where are we at? Okay. I would say don't be afraid to readjust what your true goal in life is. There may have to be a readjustment, or I would advise you to at least question whether your end goal is going to make you happy or not. Because some of you are like a dog with a bone that you just won't let it go. And, Cancer is all about the patient energy. And some of you, this is not an advice to completely give up on your goal. It's just to bring balance to the area that you intuitively feel you need to, whether you're on too much in the spiritual, too much in the physical, too much enthusiasm, not enough groundedness, So I hope this reading helped you, Cancer. I actually feel like it's going to be a very good week, but there's definitely going to be a big readjustment that's going to lead to your success. So with that being said, I appreciate you. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.